Hello, I'm Robbie of the McFly variety, and today we got something a little bit different. I tried to just look at this. What if we won the traffic scenario with the pedestrian uh, you know, things, places, my goodness. Why is plazas and promenades such a difficult thing to say? And it inevitably ended up in, I think our goal is, we really need to worry about that population. So let me just chill out for a second. But actually, sorry, our goal is 82%. Ah, but that did give me the idea. Look at that highway traffic handled, though. So maybe this will be what we really should focus on. The fact that a diverging diamond interchange took care of all the traffic as the sole intersection in Appletown. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We've now come in here. We've gotten ourselves a new map off the Steam Workshop. The interchange testing map. It's pretty easy to find. And we're going to make a bit of a diverging diamond out of this. A little bit of a tutorial on how I like to make diverging diamond interchanges. This was something I did use in my Parks and Plazas Day 1 video. I intend to get back to that soon, possibly. We'll see. And then I did do it in Appletown there in that attempt, and I really enjoy them. So I want to show you guys how I take care of this and how it could help you in your cities if you want to play with it. Now, it does begin with some roads off of the workshop. These are the reverse lane roads with some characters. I'm assuming that this translates to reverse lane road. But I really like these. They come in a couple different varieties. They have a 1x1 reverse road, a 2x1, a 2x2, and a 3x3. And we're going to be utilizing that 3x3 today. So, to get started with that, let's clean this up just a... Oh boy. Let's clean this up just a little bit. That's a lot better. Alright, so with our roads updated, a little bit cleaner. Ooh, boy. Let's go ahead and do some upgrading here. What we're doing here is effectively swapping the side, the lane that it goes on. And we're gonna grab some 4-lane roads. Now, these get kind of big. Maybe I'll actually stick with the 3-lane. Right here, and we're going to take it back to about there, right? And we're going to do that for both the inputs, inbounds. Yeah, going to call that inbound, or are we going to call it outbound? It just depends on where you're really speaking from, right? But that's pretty much the basis of everything that we do, right? We take our normal interchange that we had that was a big old mess before, and now we just give it a little bit of a fix-up. That's why these are really desirable in a lot of areas. And then lastly, we're going to get some 4 and 2 roads. You could do 4 and 3, 4 and 4 if you want. I prefer the way that a 4 and 2 works personally. I think it helps with handling that lane math and keeping things a little bit more consistent in the area. Come on, where's the... There we go. That's the one. It just looks a little bit cleaner because I'm kind of on the side of more lanes, more problems, right? So with this, we already have lane math kind of setting itself up, right? So we'll grab our node and we'll blow it up. I usually do about 20-25. Oh, and I like to square them off too. So there we go. We got a squared off node. Take this up to 25 also and square it off. And we're already looking a little bit better. Like, somehow traffic has already cleared itself. Oh, maybe not to these ends. So, and then we will come in here with our, oh boy, not with our markings, with our lanes. We're going to go ahead and make sure that they follow exactly what we need them to do here. Now I'm specifically taking these 2 lanes to this outer point here because we're not trying to have you come in and do a turnaround. We're trying to have you come in and utilize the avenue that you're getting onto. Alright, with lane markings done, the last thing I'm going to do before we get into the lights portion is going to be putting down some markings. And with lanes, lane markings, intersection markings all done, we can now begin to work on our traffic lights. So in our TMPE, we're going to choose time traffic lights. We're going to select both nodes and click Setup Time Traffic Light. Here, we're going to be working between two phases. Now, if you're really worried about a pedestrian crossing, it's going to be 4 phases, but 2 of them are going to be extremely short and only allow pedestrians to walk. So, let's go ahead and do all 4 of those phases. We're going to hit Add Step. We're going to select No One is Driving here. That's going to be important for the integrity of the timing. And the 2 phases that we're going to work with are going to be the avenues, this particular avenue, moving in one direction or the other, and then the highways will be involved between both of those, filtering out in either direction, usually the opposite direction than what the avenue is going. So with that, like, what I mean by that is that if traffic is flowing from this direction, the highway traffic here will flow out in the opposite direction, and the highway traffic here will also flow onto the bridge in the opposite direction. And then the second phase of that is a complete reverse. So if you're going this way, the traffic coming here will filter onto the bridge going in the opposite direction, and this traffic will go onto the avenue in the opposite direction. Now, in order to make this happen, when you see this at first, you're going to see it with just a single light on all of these nodes. We're going to need to hit Change Node in order to be able to utilize this correctly. This one being a turning and then a straight in turning doesn't really matter. And we're going to want to set our manual pedestrian walks right now too. Now, I actually would suggest, we're going to stop for a moment, that we go to our junction restrictions and go ahead and turn off crossing on the bridge itself. We don't really need crossing right there, but we should need crossing at both ends here. Back over at our lights, we're going to add a step. No one is driving. Minimum time, about 5 makes sense to me, and about 10 as a max makes sense to me. You can play with those numbers as you need. So, we're going to focus on this direction at first. And that means they're going to go straight and turn off. And while they're going straight and turning off, the traffic here that is not crossing over that, or playing with that direction of this traffic moving this way, is going to be taking the right turn in the opposite direction of the avenue that's being given the light to go forward. On the other half of the light, we're going to continue this direction of the avenue traffic, and we're going to use the left turning lane on this highway ramp to be the is juxtaposed the right word? The opposing direction, the opposite direction of the avenue turning. So we hit No One Else is Driving. We're going to add, and we're going to do a second step. In the second step, we can just swap all of these lights. So straight and turning there, turn off the right, turn on the left, and then put this direction to red. And we'll select No One is Driving once more, come over here, and do the same thing. Just swap the lights and add. That's the 2 phases we need in order for the traffic to work appropriately. Now, pedestrians, they can cross at any point and cause some issues. So let's actually edit this and turn all these pedestrians off real quick. Should have done that beforehand. And save. Edit the second one, turn off all the pedestrians there. And then save this one. Now we're going to add a step just for pedestrians. We're going to turn all our lights to green, our pedestrians, or all our lights to red, all our pedestrians to green. Same on this side, right there. And we're going to make that a minimum time of 2 and a maximum time of 2. That means there's no playing with it. It absolutely only follows that. It doesn't even utilize these selections here below. We'll add that. and then we're gonna add the step, and it's gonna be the exact same thing already. We'll hit add on that, and we'll hit up twice on one of these 2 and 2. And when we hit start, it'll flip between the pedestrians and the direction that you choose. So we can hit start, and we can watch how this works. So that was our first variation of the light. We can do a couple different things. We could even add in, if we notice there, right, we didn't have pedestrians to show any kind of issues, but like say your highway traffic is just way worse than what the highway traffic here is, right? Maybe you need to empty the bridge before you move on to the next phase so that the highway traffic actually has an ability to fill that space. We can add an extra phase right after the main phase. So we can view this, and we'll add a step. Now it's going to go to the old time we had. We're going to say that this one, actually, we could probably continue to say this is 2 and 2. But we're going to do a few different things with it, right? Oh, right, put the 2 back. So, say we're trying to empty the bridge. We're going to turn off... No, we're going to let that we're going to turn the highway off. We're going to turn the inbound from the avenue off that goes onto the bridge and only allow the bridge to empty out. While also doing this, we can go ahead and turn on our pedestrians on both sides, and that should allow the traffic to move accordingly. So then we can even turn it on here, and that's going to give more time to these guys in order to pass. So we can add. We could probably even get rid of pedestrians after this. Thinking about it, let's do that, because it will kind of go back and forth, right? So we have this phase, we're going to take that up, we're going to add another step, and we're just going to do the opposite. Turn that off, turn on these, and turn that direction off, obviously, because we're trying to come off the bridge. The same thing here, turn off the bridge there, and turn off that there, and we can turn on all 3 of our pedestrian paths. And we can hit that and hit start. And what this will effectively do, right, is that once this traffic comes here, it's going to take that time to empty off the bridge. Because they're coming here, we don't want crossing there, but since they're coming off there and they're not coming across here, we can turn on crossing there, and then when it sweeps the other side, crossing can happen here. Between both, they'll both be able to go straight across. So let's see what that looks like. So yeah, we can see how utilizing the back and forth extra pedestrian phase will allow for the bridge to be cleared out a little bit, and the lesser amount of cars will allow the highway to fill that space in a little bit more, you know, if your city's a little bit denser. I plan to utilize something like this when we get deeper into the city part, the downtown, like up on the hill city part in Appaloosa Plains, my main series, because that's just really where something like this would be highly utilized and very beneficial. The rest of the city does perfectly fine with their dog bone interchanges, and they also don't have the space to fit something at all. In my experience, this needs just a little bit much more space, but it can definitely fit in a very small, crowded space. Maybe you have an interchange that the exit lanes come up to right here, and you only have this much space. Well, that's even more of a reason to use this form of the traffic phase lights and how they can benefit you there. We're going to follow up with some pictures of the lights and how they work, and we're going to dictate them by phase. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.